On this episode of Captain's Tales, we're headed 70 miles offshore into the Sea of Giants.
A little drag pulling, a little head shaking. Probably like 11 pounds. Nice fish. We gotta be pushing 30 inches, 28. There you go. Pretty fish. Oh, Carbo! Carbo-rito! That's a good one, all right.
Throughout maritime history, there have been experts on the water who knew how to navigate and locate their bounty. These individuals held the secrets to where, when, and how. This still holds true today. Get ready for an angling experience filled with sea secrets, fantastic fishing, and great destinations. For on this show, it's only the captain and the camera. On this charter, we're starting out from Naples, Florida, aboard the Vindictive. Our captain is Michael Avinon, and his plan is to run 70 miles offshore for catching red snapper and Florida grouper.
What we're doing is sabikiing some bait up, trying to get some thread herrings for the red snappers, maybe for a nice scamp while we're offshore. There we go, just like that. Thread herrings, pinfish, blue runners, they all work really well. Blue runners we use a lot for like the bigger gags, blacks.
The technique today is anchoring on spots only known to Captain Michael, using a combination of artificial and live bait to entice the bite.
There he is. Come to Papa. I don't know if this is a red snapper or not. Grouper. Nice red. He is in season, so it's his unlucky day. This one's got fish fry written all over it. All right. Not a bad start. Take a little peek. You had a fish fry for 30 people. This is like 8 right here, so. You know, when you're fishing this deep, and you have a smaller fish, and you know it's a smaller fish, especially a red snapper that you're going to release, just take your time with the fish. You know, don't try to pulverize him by bringing him up too quick. You take your time, take it a little easier on the fish, and it makes it easier to release him. That way he's there next year when you come back. Well, I guess I'm grocery shopping. Another red grouper. Another one for dinner anyways. Little smaller fish. Grouper, they'll eat it as you're firing down, so you do have to be ready to engage it and put it in gear if it stops. You know, you're firing down 150, 160 feet. If you get down 100, 120 and all of a sudden it stops, you know there's a fish there. Lock it up and get to work. Yeah, this might be another red. Got a little more bounce to it. All right, we haven't broke the star yet, but we haven't hooked the carb yet either. I do like this rod though. It's nice on me. Yeah, this is, see if it stays bouncing. Grouper. Another red grouper. Right bounce to it. Kicking my rear end all the way up. Come to Papa. Another red grouper. Another big red. Nice fish. That's a big one. All right. Another nice fish. Got to be pushing 30 inches, 28. Typical of the size we see out here, you know, this would be like a medium. It's not uncommon to see fish out in this depth up to, you know, 20, 22, 23 pounds in the red groupers. I don't want to do too many more of those. I'd like to do an American before I get pulverized. My wife said we were not allowed to come back until we had fish fry for 30. We left the Naples City dock today at 7 a.m. this morning, and our goal was to steam 70 miles offshore and catch some red and gag groupers and have the possibility of catching a true black, or what we call a carburetor. That's what it's called in the Southern Gulf. Another fish we were trying to catch today is red snappers, and basically our red snapper fishery is out here from about 120 to 180 feet of water, 200 feet of water is where we catch them. We sabikied some live bait to start the day inshore. We caught some pinfish, blue runners, and some cigar minnows and some thread herrings that we were using to fire down to catch the snappers and the groupers today. We also used some squid to try to initiate the bite a little bit and get the fish going, get them fired up. Sometimes you can throw a little squid at the fish and it'll actually get them biting a little harder, get them charged up. Sometimes, you know, when you have multiple anglers fishing at the same time, what you get is it's the rally. And basically what it is those fish are down there feeding, and when you hook one fish, it spits up bait down there and creates a natural chum slick down on the bottom. Well, if you've got 4 anglers fishing at the same time, you've got 4 times the amount of chum coming out of those fish, and it really helps charge the fish up and get the bite going. We were using a spinning rod that we were floating down for some of the red snappers that we were catching. We also caught a real nice gag grouper on the spinning rod today, and what we're using is 30-pound braid on a pen spinner, anywhere from like a 460, 450 up to 760 size, using a 60-pound monofilament leader. The fluorocarbon will help, but it doesn't always have to be fluorocarbon. And then today we were using this white bucktail jig with the circle hook on it, and 1 ounce size. We were putting a little piece of squid on that. We were putting some live thread herrings on it. It seemed to work really well. Some of our nicer fish today seem to come on the thread herrings with the jig floating down, just kind of like you would yellowtail snapper fish, but a little deeper scenario. We're fishing in 170 feet of water instead of 100 feet. So we use a 1 ounce jig instead of a 1/8 ounce jig. The other rod we were using today is a Paraflex Star rod in 50 to 100 pound test. We're using 80-pound braid on it with the Penn Fathom on it, and the leader that we're using is 125 pound. We're not using fluorocarbon, but again, you can use fluorocarbon if you want to. Sometimes it will make a difference, especially on fish that are a little picky. Using a 6 ounce lead and a 13-0 Mustad circle hook. A lot of the baits that we fished on this were live blue runners, live herring, live pinfish. The live pinfish seem to work really well. We even used some large chunks of bonita to try to pick off some bigger fish. A lot of the guys that I have fishing out on the boat, the first question I'll get from them is, Mike, are you a native Floridian? And my reply is that my great-grandmother was born in Key West in 1900, and actually my great-grandfather's parents were the founders of Coconut Grove. I've been in Naples since 1992. I actually grew up down in the Keys and started fishing down there. Started off at Marathon, worked up to Marathon, and actually the last year I was in the Keys, I fished out of Key Largo. After Hurricane Andrew in 1992, I moved up to the Naples area just because I had family in town and started fishing here, and have been in Naples ever since. Two basic types of trips. The one is the regular full day, half day, 3/4 day. And those trips are anywhere from family type people to winter type residents. The other type of trip that we do is where we're at today, and this is the offshore 10, 12-hour trip. And those guys, you know, they're hardcore guys fishing with me every year. It is a longer trip. It's more consistent with serious anglers than it would be the everyday angler. The boat's a 31 Ocean Master, built in 2002. It's a heavy boat. It's 14,000 pounds is the weight of it. So it gives it a nicer ride than most of the smaller type center console boats. It's probably, as far as a nice dry ride, it's in the upper class of the center console type boats. I recently became partners with Yamaha. We're doing some promotional work, and we just repowered the boat with new 300 Yamahas. So our cruising speed is around 30 knots, which gets us out pretty quick to where we're going to go. On our full days, we're fishing within an hour of when we leave the dock, whereas a lot of the conventional style charter boats are closer to 2 hours from when they leave the dock. A trip like today, we're 70 miles offshore, less than 2.5 hours from the dock, versus 5 hours with the other boats. So the boat's a huge advantage to me for the fishing. Also has a head down below. I have curtains on the boat to keep you dry and warm in the wintertime. And then we also have some beanbag chairs and some bench seating for everybody. It was fantastic. We had really good weather. The bite was really good. Caught plenty of snappers, caught some really nice groupers. We even caught one gag that was probably between 25 and 30 pounds on a 20-pound spinning rod, which is tremendous to catch a fish that size, that caliber, on 20-pound spin tackle. That's a nice fish.
Our captain is Michael Avinon, aboard the Vindictive. We're 70 miles offshore, where the area is pristine for catching red snapper and Florida grouper.
Not a bad red snapper for a bare hook catch. Yeah, this is a nice snapper. A little drag pulling, a little head shaking. Got the Michael Jordan thing going on. There he is. Nice fish. Nice fish here. There we go. That's a better representative of what we've been catching. Probably like 11 pounds. That's a pretty fish. Colors on them are incredible. That and they taste as good as they look.
Little bull dolphin. That wouldn't hurt the feeling.
Well, what it is, yeah, you're about to figure it out. See if it gets to meet the gold or if it gets to go back. Ah, that's some nice head shakes there. You know what that is, don't you? It's either the bonita or the blackfin. You see the head shakes?
Captain Michael's good friend and mate for this trip is Chris Workman, a local Southwest Florida tournament fisherman. And from the looks of it, he is deep into the reel on this fish.
I'm gonna show him the gold. Fresh tuna through the drill. Good job, buddy. Let's just do this. There you go. Good fish.
Chris catching this tuna is a surprise plus for any angler on any fishing trip.
I'm gonna take it easy on him. He's been in the rock for a while. Leader's all frayed. Hook's probably got a little bend in it. Take our time and see if we can't get him here. It's a big fish.
You got a net somewhere?
No. We'll lip gap him if he's really big. Oh my goodness. Just angle. All right.
Where's the gap?
About.
See him?
No. Oh yeah, there he is. Big gag. Nice gag. Holy camole. Come to Papa. I'll get him. Man almighty. What do you think? 25, 30? Wait for it. Yeah. Man, that's impressive. Look at that little 60-pound leader. Oh my. Couldn't have been hooked better. It's a pretty fish. Probably in the mid-20s, 25, 27. Nice fish. Color, nice fish. Gag, pretty sure. Oh yeah, big old gagger. Big gag. Oh, Carbo! Carbo-rito! Yeah, baby! That's what Daddy's talking about. All right. Oh, what a way to start a drop. Man almighty. There you go. Nice fish.
Captain Michael has perfected his own method of locating productive deepwater fishing spots over the years and has become very successful at this deepwater fishing technique.
That's a good one. All right, he's going to make his way to the release spot.
Join us again next week for another episode of Captain's Tales. Visit us online at captainstales.com and give us a like and become a friend on our Captain's Tales Facebook page. Join us again next week for another episode of Captain's Tales, and try one more fishing spot online. Log on to www.captainstales.com.